yeah, all those things that she just mentioned, and even shopping and everything else. I mean, what any addiction really is we're trying to numb emotions and old thought patterns and stuff that are coming up and bothering us. So to numb them, we try to get our mind off it by either chemically numbing ourselves or numbing ourselves by just zoning out with a game or gambling or overeating or whatever. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so there's all kinds of addictions, and this channel's not only going to be about pain medicine, but I felt like this was the place to
If
start.
you're trying to break a habit or an addiction, then stick around.
Hi, I'm Boyd Townsend, and this is my wife, Michelle. We were addicted to pain pills for 12 years. I was on oxycodone, 20 milligrams. I took 3 of those a day. And I was on OxyContin, 60 milligrams, and I was taking 2 of those a day. So I was supposed to be on about 180 milligrams of pain medicine. And that's how it started out. But eventually it went to 200 and 220 because you build up a tolerance and you keep taking more, and then you start running out towards the end of the month. And I was in an accident in 2006, and I had to have several surgeries afterwards. That's how this whole thing started. And my wife, too, was in an accident, and she ended up on medicine as well.
Right. In 2005, I was in a car accident and I was on like 60 milligrams a day.
Yeah.
And, like Boyd said, once you're taking them for a while and you build up a tolerance, then you start taking more than what's prescribed. So we found ourselves in withdrawals quite often.
That's the reason why we have some authority to speak about this at all. I'm not a doctor. Michelle's not a doctor. But we both got off of the medicine without going to rehab or joining Narcotics Anonymous or AA or anything like that. We just decided it had to stop. And also, our doctor started cutting us back because,
Yeah.
you know what happened, and I'll tell you this too. We had several like friends die. We had one person in their 30s, one guy in his early 40s, and then we had another friend who was like 55, 56, and they all died basically from overdosing on pain medicine.
Yeah, so in 2018, we started to wean back.
Yeah.
And we decided what would work for us is we sold everything we owned and we moved to Thailand. And we realized this won't work for everyone, but this worked for us. And we came over here to get clean.
Like she said, we weaned ourselves off. The actual way to wean yourself off medically, this is the standard. You're supposed to taper down gradually 5 to 20% every month, every 4 weeks. And that helps lessen the withdrawal when you finally quit completely. Anyhow, like Michelle was saying, we ended up tapering ourselves down. The doctors didn't tell us to. They did cut us back some. But we decided, look, we need to get off this because we didn't even have enough to really enjoy them anymore. It was just enough to get us
Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance, and it would just make us miserable because we would run out and then have to,
Right.
So it got really, really tricky there towards the end. But we started weaning ourselves down. It took probably about 6 months. At the very end, we were just taking small amounts of Suboxone. Sometimes we would go to a clinic, and sometimes we also knew a friend who had some. The last time we took pain medicine was on January 19th, 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was on our flight here to Thailand. Yeah, there was no taking anything.
No.
And even though we had weaned ourselves down, it was still really hard. And physically, yeah, we didn't feel good. We didn't get quite as sick as we would have if we didn't taper off slowly. but mentally and emotionally, it really was difficult because when you're taking pain medicine, you stop making dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter that gives you joy and motivation and everything. And it also, pain medicine also it stops the release of serotonin, which is another neurotransmitter.
Right.
And once again, makes you happy. It gives you motivation. It gives you
Which
joy.
we produce naturally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're supposed to produce that naturally, but pain medicine stops your brain from making it. And it takes a while to kick back in to start working.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah. And then from there, it's called anhedonia.
Yeah.
When you're feeling depressed. And first of all, know that that's temporary. And it lasted for myself maybe 3 months or so. And I know that it was longer for you.
Yeah, I was taking more than you. So I would say it lasted about 8 months, 7 or 8 months. And yeah, it's just a really dark place. You just can't find joy. That's basically what anhedonia is. You can't find really any kind of joy in pretty much anything. And you're depressed and you're sad, you're emotional, you get angry easy, you get sad easy. It's, yeah, it's a dark place. And it may not take everybody that long. It took, like it took her 3 months. And depending on how much you're taking, you might only experience it for a couple of weeks or a month or something.
Right.
And everybody's different.
And it's not specific to opioid abuse. I mean, and you can get anhedonia from gaming too much, any addiction, gambling, porn, food. Yeah. So this is very common when you're giving up an addiction.
We have a PDF about weaning yourself off pain pills. It's tips on weaning yourself off. And we also have a PDF on breaking free from the wounds of the past. And that's basically about trauma from our childhood or trauma from, even old relationships and stuff in our early years. Any kind of trauma you ever went through, really. And it's a really good guide. Gives you a lot of information to get yourself through that, and a lot of methods and techniques to use.
Yeah, good foundation.
Yeah, it's a good start for sure.
And they're free. They're free, by the way. Yeah, they're free. And I'm going to put a link in our description.
Linktree, right?
Yeah, and it'll take you to Linktree, and we can get you those PDFs. They're nice to have.
Yeah, nice they have a lot of information in them. They really do. Especially the one on the break free from the wounds of the past. It has a lot. It's actually a really nice big PDF. The other one's more of a list of things that you might need if you're going to go through withdrawals from opioids.
Yeah, before we go, I just wanted to mention that, one of the things we wanted to do with this channel is kind of build a community of like-minded people, because not everyone has someone that they can go to and talk to. And I think that that's, for us, we went through it together, which is a huge help.
Yeah.
A community where people can come together and share their experiences and maybe tips for each other. So if you want to leave comments down below about what, maybe what you went through, what you're going through, and maybe help each other out with some ideas.
Yeah. And if you have any questions for us too, put them down there. We'll answer them. We'll answer anybody who writes to us personally. So
yeah.
We thank you so much for watching. We're called The Freedom Habit, Boyd and Michelle, and we'll figure out a schedule here soon. This is our first video, so we'll let you know as it goes. All right. Thanks a lot.
All right.